What's up, North County? You're tuned into the Backstage Pass with the Rebel Bear. Tonight, my guest is Miss Dani Johnson. Dani, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent.
Good.
Thank you so much for coming in here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I have to say, I had never heard of you until like the last 2 or 3 months, and I don't know how that's possible because you are outstanding.
Well, thank you.
Like, I'd never heard you sing until we rehearsed with the guys.
Mm-hmm.
We did the show just last
Troy's
2
show.
weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to thank Troy once again for having me out and letting me join you guys. It was super awesome. That was a great show.
That was fun.
But when I heard you, when we were rehearsing and you did the Paramore,
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, holy shit. Like, yeah, you sounded so good. And I instantly was excited to do a show with you, to be to share a stage with you. And then I want to thank you for getting up and jamming with me.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
of course, that was fun.
I watched a little bit of the video that somebody took, and in hindsight, I wish I just would have zipped it on the choruses and let you sing the whole thing by yourself. No, it would have been. It would have been so much better. Well, it was my time. I had the verses and the choruses because I noticed when I was watching the video when I eased off and you chimed in,
Mm-hmm.
the crowd was just going for it. They were just like, yeah. So I think they were enjoying that. So if there's ever a time that possibility comes up again, I definitely want to.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
So, born in Oklahoma?
Well, we don't like to tell people that, but yes, that's where I was born.
Yeah, you must not have spent too much time there because you don't have much of an accent.
No, oh, no. That was a time I could have had dual citizenship, but thanks to my mom plopping me out on an Air Force base, that's where I came to.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you were in a military family for a while?
I was. My mom was in the Air Force.
How did you like that?
There's definitely some mixed feelings on that. Moved a lot, but, it is what it is. I could say I am cultured. I'll put it that way.
That's good, though.
Yeah.
I have a few friends. That their parents, dad or whoever was in the military, and they moved a lot.
Yeah. I didn't experience it too terribly much, but moved a lot.
Yeah.
In the earlier years.
Well, sometimes getting that culture is a great thing.
Yes.
Broadens your horizons. But if you're kind of too young, it's one of those things where it doesn't really do a whole lot for you. But I personally love to travel. I just don't get a chance to do it as much as I'd like.
I do as well.
Yeah. So
I really do.
Started singing between 3 and 4 years old.
Very young age. When I realized I could, it was off from there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Makes you feel good, right?
It's definitely one of those, what I've always been known for, I guess, if I've ever been known for anything. Yeah.
Right. And you started doing that at your babysitter's house, like what? Like a little karaoke thing, or what was that?
I think it was a karaoke machine, but she just had this microphone that would sit next to it on her fireplace, and I would dart over there and pick it up and just walked around with it in my little mermaid pants, and I would sing to every song that came on the radio. Or,
nice.
Yeah, make up my own stuff.
Stacy, look what you've did. Letting her sing. Look what you've done. You made a star out of that. So that's awesome. And then singing in grade school choir?
I sang in church choir. I sang in choir in school. Kind of got a little crazy when I got to high school. I was in a couple of different ones. I was in honor choir. I was the solo queen. So. Oh,
nice.
If I didn't get a solo, I was not very happy.
Devastated.
How
could this be?
Yeah. They couldn't give them all to me, but
right. Well, what are you gonna do? Some people get jealous after that. People get a little bit. Why is she getting it and I don't? Yeah. Well, I think that singing is, to the listener, is a preference, right? Like somebody could hear me and go, oh, he's the bee's knees. Somebody else could hear me and go, that guy sucks. You know, so I really think that it's a preference. So, you know, when your peers, you know, or people that are teaching you or people that are guiding you are the ones that are picking you, you know, they hear that and have that preference for you, which is, you know, if that's the case, not your fault, you know. Some people truly have it and some people don't. And I've had a lot of debate with people about, like, how do you feel? Like, I think it's a tone thing. Like, if you're a singer and your tone isn't great, you know, if you don't have a very good tone, it's probably, in my thought, probably not likely that you're going to be that great of a singer. I mean, what do you think about that?
I say, I don't know, I think there's a lot of factors that come to play. For me, it's vocal range, most definitely tone.
Yeah, vocal range is huge.
But I think to set you apart from, you know, there's a lot of competition out there, especially nowadays.
Totally.
There's a lot of different vocal styles. There's people who grew up who are classically trained, of which I wasn't. And then there's a lot of, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, where there's a lot of influence that comes to play. I had a lot of different influences. My granny, I kind of started singing with her when she would travel around in a bluegrass band.
Oh, nice.
So I went to wine festivals or bluegrass jams, all the above. So that's kind of where it started. So it started in a different
genre, kind of, or
not only genre, but just style in general.
Now, was she was a singer? Did she play any other instruments?
She played the guitar and the piano.
And do you play any other instruments?
You know, I used to. I'm getting back in right now to playing the piano, which has always been my favorite. My Nana on my biological dad's side, his mom, she played the piano. She was a beast on the piano.
Really?
So I'm really trying to get back into that, yeah.
I had dialysis in San Luis with this old lady. She had easily 88 and really, like, kind of not there that much. Like, I talked to her every day, and every day, who are you? What's your name? But her husband had seen, a friend of mine came in with a shirt with my face on it. And he's like, what is that? And she goes, oh, you know, you don't know who he is? And he's like, no. And she's like, you know, he's a singer and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, she's a piano player. He pulled his phone out and opened it up and started going through videos. And she was insane. Yeah. She was just this gnarly classical pianist. And he said, to this day, she still could sit down at a piano and get crazy. Yeah, so that's awesome. And is your
muscle memory
now? Is your Nana still alive or no?
Oh, she is.
Is she still rocking?
She's still. She gets arthritis really bad in her hands, but that's pretty much the only thing that keeps her from playing.
Really?
So that's really cool. Yeah.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys get a chance to jam much?
No, she lives in North Carolina. I'm hoping to see her at some point soon. I didn't grow up with them. They've always been on that side of the United States. But hopefully soon, yeah.
Oh, I would like that. That would be cool for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of genetic influence for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's weird because my mom played piano, and then all my sisters, you know, my four sisters, well, three of my four sisters were in bands. Okay. And they were all in, like, garage bands or whatever. And when I was a kid, it seemed like, you know, they were doing something really big. And then fast forward to them coming to my shows, and they're like, wow, like, we thought we were doing something cool. Like, you know, you've gone far past what we ever did. But when I was a kid, I always was like, wow, look what they're doing. You know, so I think they had a huge influence. My sister taught me how to play guitar.
Oh, cool.
So that was a huge influence for me. Now you said you were doing competition singing too. What was that like?
That was a lot of it started from school, and then my mom helped me. I would find different competitions and I would just kind of go for it, and I would focus on one at a time. But yeah, it was a little crazy because we were in between moving and all of this stuff. My dad was building my mom's house, and so it's like I would be just like practicing singing everywhere.
Did you find
No
those
matter where it was.
online, or
What was it?
how did you find those competitions? Like
No,
online?
it was word of mouth. I did try out for American Idol, believe it
Really?
or not.
Wow.
Which was traumatizing, but it was a good experience.
Right.
So it's just, there's just, you know. It's
Now,
kind of
how
crazy.
does that work? I heard that you go through like stages, like you go to them once and then again, and then how does that go?
Well, I mean, I didn't get past, there was a couple phases where it's like you get the green light, and I didn't quite make it there. There was some, we went to Las Vegas to try out. And so you basically just kind of wait in line all day with your 1 or 2 songs that you've rehearsed and practiced, and you sing in front of not only the judges, but everybody behind you.
Oh, so you
it
actually
was-
sang in front of the judges at the first time?
Well, not like the judges. I don't even remember
okay.
who it was back then. Simon Cowell or that guy. But yeah, so I did a lot of that. I did a national karaoke contest, of which I won. That one was the one I was supposed to go to nationals, and it was like next day I woke up and for some reason overnight
mentioned that
came
to
down
me.
with what we have no idea what it was, strep throat or something. My throat just swelled up, so obviously it wasn't meant to be.
Right.
It's kind of how I take things. But yeah, I did a lot of those throughout my childhood.
Do you as a singer, you know, this would happen to me years ago when I first started getting paid to sing. It seemed more of like you know, like stressful for me when I first started doing it. And mentally I would start kind of not freaking out, but you know, like I'd get like get really nervous.
Anxiety.
And really. And then one time I just said to myself, you know, after the show, it was a great show, and then I thought, what are you worried about? You gave them exactly what they wanted, and they loved it. The band did great. You did great. So don't stress on it. And I never did after that. Rarely ever do I get nervous before I go on. I mean, I don't want to say I never get nervous, but it's not like it ever used to be.
Yeah, I've gone through many phases like that through my lifetime. You can ask one of my aunts. She'll, to this day, she's always like, Dani used to hide in a corner and no one could look at her when she would sing a song. They would say, sing something for us, and I would be like, okay, everybody turn around, don't look at me. So for a very long time, I would get like those jitters and just a lot of anxiety, and now it doesn't faze me, which is so funny.
I think that's what I was getting in the early years was this real anxiety, like, and I don't know why it happened. It just did. But like I said, something just clicked in me and was like, this is what like I'm sure this is what you think. This is what you do. This is why you're here, right? You know, other than your son.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm here to sing. You know, and probably like me, you know, when you're on stage, nobody does it better. I defy you to come up on stage and do it better than I am right now, because I'm in my moment. And I would hope that every singer would feel that way when they're on stage. Is that this is my moment, and nobody could come up here and do better than I can do. You know.
I just find it a place of pure joy, and you kind of get to do it your way and in a different style every time. And I think that's the coolest part about it is every gig that we play, whether it be with a full band, whether it's just with me and a guitarist, what have you, it's a little bit different every time. So it's just having that experience and that I get to sing it a little bit different every time, but still make it mine is probably the coolest part for me.
Yeah, experimenting a little bit, huh?
Always learning something new about what you can do vocally, well, for me anyways.
Cool.
So yeah.
Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back. Backstage Pass, Dani Johnson.
Are you tired of looking at that worn-out concrete garage floor, patio, or porch? Look no further than MGP Coatings, where customer service reigns supreme. Our team goes above and beyond to ensure your satisfaction every step of the way. Before we even start coating, we meticulously repair your concrete, ensuring a flawless finish that lasts. And here's the best part. Our Pentec coatings are 4 times stronger than epoxy, so they won't chip or peel, making maintenance a breeze. Plus, they come with a limited lifetime warranty. Call us today at 805-952-5301 or check out our Facebook and Instagram and experience the MGP coating difference. Don't wait. Transform your garage, patio, porch, or driveway and become a part of the MGP coating family.
Hey, Backstage Pass with the Rebel Bear. What's going on? We're here with Dani Johnson. How are you?
I am good. How are
Thank you again for coming in. So, you did the competitions, and you kind of had the rough patch there vocally, but you got through that. That was just a short little thing that didn't last.
No, it was gone the next day. It
Isn't
was
that crazy
the
how
weirdest.
that works?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Still to this day, my mom and I were like, what the heck happened? So I don't know. Just wasn't meant to be.
I can honestly say that truly my voice has never given out on me live, but I have woken up in the morning where my whole throat, just my whole neck feels inflamed, like I just beat the holy living crap out of it. I did Harry's one night with High Voltage, and we were supposed to do 2 20-song sets, but the place was just, it was elbow to elbow, it was packed, and there was still a line down the street, people wanting to get in, and we just were like, if we stop now, we might lose the momentum. You know, we don't want people to go get a drink.
Exactly.
So we played straight through 40 songs of AC/DC in a row.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And man, I woke up the next day feeling like somebody hit me with a truck, you know.
I occasionally, especially when we have these crazy weekends where it's like back to back to back, I'll lose my voice. But I think just from conditioning myself to, I don't ever have like a vocal strain per se. It's just, it just kind of gives out. It's like, nope, you're done.
Well, I heard you the other day and you sounded great.
Oh,
like,
thanks.
You sounded really good. I don't know how many shows you did before that one. But
just the Metallica show, but that wasn't.
But that'll take it out of you.
That was more
that'll
me
take it out of you
being
too.
A fan.
that'll definitely take it out of you. I've left a few concerts just like I shouldn't have done that tonight. Yeah, definitely. So you now that whole time when you were doing the national competitions and all that, were you here in California?
No, that was mostly. Talk about moving. I was either in Texas or in Colorado.
And Texas meaning
those are the 2 places that I grew
Austin.
up. No, outside of Fort Worth is where we lived.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we went Mississippi, Texas,
so that was when
Colorado.
you were that was when you were a kid doing all that. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were still pretty young then.
Relatively, yeah. Started getting into junior high, and then high school was Colorado. Yeah.
Wow.
So
you did the American Idol thing when you were pretty young then?
I think I was 14.
See,
yeah.
If I did American Idol today, I'd be like anxiety-ridden, you know, like, I couldn't even imagine doing it when I was 14. But I don't think I had, for me, I think I was a late bloomer, like vocally. I don't know when I came into my vocal fold, but I feel like it was just yesterday.
Really?
Like, yeah, I feel like I just finally became a decent singer, you know, yesterday. But it's weird because when I was younger, I had older guys that wanted me to jam with them. Like, hey, little dude, come jam with us. And so there had to be something there, but I never really considered myself to be a good singer till just, you know, maybe 15 years ago or something like that.
I feel like you hit a lot of plateaus.
Yeah.
Or where you're consistently developing a different sound. So, like when I told you, we sent a lot of my recorded material to that guy, Mark Hallman, in Austin. And I was just completely tore up because he was like, why are you emulating people instead of, you know, having your own? Or he said that my sound was very affected, meaning that I was emulating too much.
Oh, well, to me, that's better than being physically affected. Like, I'm not big into, like, I didn't hear much of any effect on you the other day at all, which I pay homage to that. Mm-hmm. There's too many singers that are using, you know, all these just, I feel like I'm listening to something underwater. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's their prerogative and they're go do that. Mm-hmm. But I could, like, whenever my sound man asks me what I want, I'm like, you know what I want, just a spit of reverb and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, I want it to be as clean as possible because, you know, I want it to be raw.
That's how I am.
And it's weird because, were you ever into the perfection side? When I was younger, I wanted everything to be perfect.
Yeah.
And now I'm like,
we're still teetering in there.
I want it to be back when I was younger. I want it to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. And now I'm like, I kind of want a little sloppiness. I kind of want it to
more character.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I want it to be real. I want people to leave knowing they saw a real band instead of, you know, something that's been fabricated. You know,
I respect that.
Yeah. So you went to Austin though in 2009, and we're doing like blues jams and open mics.
I did a lot of them. That's how I met Gary Clark Jr. was at a blues jam randomly. Was
he big yet?
He was right on the cusp of that. It was I think that was in 2010. Yeah. So it was really cool to walk up. I had no idea who he was.
I saw him at Avila Beach on the big stage, and my nephew bought me a ticket. Said, "Come check this dude out." Mm-hmm. I had no idea who he was, and I would just
he's
his guitar
talented.
His guitar playing was absolutely awesome, but I couldn't believe his vocal. Mm-hmm. His singing is just, he's got a voice that is not even right. That guy, talk about range. Mm-hmm. That guy is outstanding. Like, really I was just like, who the hell is this guy? Mm-hmm. I had no idea who he was. And I was a fan instantly. Yeah, he was great. So doing that, you were able to meet a lot of people there? And
I met a lot of people.
Did you do any bands or anything there? Or?
I did. I was in a couple. I was one. I think I was telling you it was 4 or 5 females, of which didn't.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't my thing.
Didn't click for you?
No. I don't like to blend.
Were you the only singer?
Out. No. There was literally four to 5 of us. And so it was not only like harmonizing or taking different parts and different verses of each song, but it just wasn't for me. And then there was another band that I desperately really tried to make it work, but we were writing all of our own original tunes and the styles just did not mesh. So bands in Austin, it's so crazy. It's like, because if I could take myself now and put myself in a band again in Austin, I think it would be completely different. But at this time, it was just kind of me like trying to find my sound, trying to find exactly what I wanted to do, what I wanted to play a part of, what I, you know, could and couldn't deal with as far as sharing the mic. And
Right.
not that I don't,
Right.
you know, not
No,
that
I
I'm not
I
open
understand.
to
Right.
it, but yeah, it's more of
And no offense to females at
Yeah,
all.
no
but I could
offense,
see
you
four
know.
females like kind of grading on one another,
Yeah.
like, but it's me. No,
yeah,
it's me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It just didn't work. It
Yeah,
didn't
I
work.
could see that a little bit, you
So,
know, because you know, not to browbeat singers because I am a singer, but singers are the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, when you're the singer, you know, all eyes are on you for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people have their favorite person on stage,
Yeah,
but singers
sure.
are who everybody's paying attention to. So if you have four of them, that could be a bit of a cat fight after a little bit.
Yeah, just talk about perfection. If someone doesn't sound up to par, I was very critical yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people out there that, you know, might not be not a bad singer, but there's people out there that get a little pitchy and they don't necessarily hear it and they think that they're singing great. I do everything I can to not be pitchy, but it's not perfect all the time.
Yeah, we all do.
But some people are more pitchy than they think they are. So, and then if somebody points it out, like I have to admit, when I was younger, if somebody gave me a critique, I'd be like, "Ugh," you know. And now I'm matured where, you know, a critique is a good thing because that's just going to broaden my ability.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and I can either take that critique and run with it, or I can go, okay, I'll think about that. But being critiqued is a good thing, I think. Some people don't run well with it though.
Some people don't. I used to be one of those people.
Me too, though.
But that's just another, you know, part of you evolving.
Yeah, total
Yeah.
learning process, right?
Yeah. Constructive criticism is your friend.
So you bailed out of that and you got into an electronica era?
Electronic music
Yeah.
became my my jam. Not only because I became very passionate about it, but I just think it's very overlooked, and I got to work with so many different artists from around the world that played a certain, I guess you could say, genre of electronic music. So I really loved house music. I love drum and bass, still do.
Now, did you just sing to that, or what did you?
Yeah. Yeah, I would write lyrics to it. I would get a lot of different, I guess you could say, beats or melodies from different producers that I was working with, and I would just kind of make a track out of it.
So they would send you a beat and some kind of like music melody, like keyboard.
I was
or
kind
what?
of, it was both. It was kind of up to me to find what the melody of the chorus would be. But then again, that's why I loved my writing sessions.
Right.
Because that was kind of like our brainstorming time. So
That's
did a
one
lot
thing
of
I
it.
miss. I miss writing music. I never played in a cover band until 2010.
Okay.
You know, it was totally new to me. I put out, I don't know how many EPs and demos and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, doing this is totally foreign to me. Hey, we're gonna come back real quick and discuss more of your electronic endeavors. But we will be right back. What's Up North County Backstage Pass with the Rebel Bear.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Hi, this is Omid
and Deanna
at North County Junk Removal. We are a business known for helping our neighbors and our community.
Let us help you save money and get rid of any unwanted items.
And rest assured that our professional team adheres to global standards of safety and recycling. We are fully licensed and insured for your peace of mind.
We are locally owned and operated, and we look forward to helping you with all your junk removal needs.
Please call us at 805-769-6966.
What's up, North County? Backstage Pass. We got Dani Johnson in the house this evening. Once again, thank you so much. Hey, our buddy Gus just asked, have you been taking any lessons, or do you give lessons? What is your rehearsal schedule vocally, like how you vocalize?
Personally, well, yes, I just started voice coaching maybe a month and a half ago. I currently have 3 kids. They are 8, 9, and 11. So it's a little crazy with schedules right now. And when I have time, it's usually an hour per session. I try to do once a week, but that goes up and down depending on their schedule, my schedule. But it's been really fun tapping into that because I did it in Austin for a while outside of going to a voice coach, of which I never really saw myself doing that, but I went because I think I was struggling back then with trying to find my sound. That was like something that I just kept searching for. So, you know, fast forward, I guess you could say 8, 9 years now. I love coaching, and especially when they're younger kids. So I do that. Other than that, what do I do vocally to get ready for my own performances?
How do you vocalize?
Well, I always, something kind of cliche, but I always sing in the shower. I drink a lot of tea. I use a combination of different throat sprays. So I do warm-ups. I'll sing some of my favorite songs just to kind of get ready to prep my voice. And then depending on how crazy it is, sometimes the first couple of songs in my set is how I prep.
See, that's exactly how I do it. I warm up in the shower. I'll go through, like I do a buzz and hum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll go through my scales, and then I'll sing like my favorite tunes, you know, and work my way from lower registered tunes. I'll do like 4 or 5. Start at lower register to make my way up to, you know, the higher register songs where I've opened my vocal fold up, and so that's cool that you do that, because I know a lot of singers that just don't warm up at all, which I find that weird, because I don't think I could hit the notes I do if I didn't warm up, like if I just went in cold. You know, like people ask me to get up all the time, but I'm only singing like 1 or 2 tunes, and there's songs I've done 1,000,000 times, and most of those songs don't really have any, you know, there's not much vocal prowess to them. Pretty easy. So, but when you get into your set and you're really tossing out things that are, you know, I like to sing songs that are difficult. Are you that way?
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, because that's what makes it the challenge, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's my reasoning behind saying experimenting is, especially when I'm doing like these duo and trio sets as opposed to being in a live band, it really kind of opens up all the creativity that I can put forth.
Right.
And I can really hone in on my voice and how I want the song to sound, just because, you know, and I don't have a drummer or a saxophone player behind me.
And there's not a lot to hide behind, right?
No, and that's kind of where I like to sit.
Yeah,
Just
I
gives
like
me more
that.
creativity.
I like that
room.
when you don't have anything to hide behind.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, if you write a song on an acoustic guitar and you know that it's good, it's probably going to be great on electric. Mm-hmm. But you could write a song on electric and be like, oh, that's cool. But you take it to an acoustic, it's like, well, it's not as good as I thought it was. Because it's got all that fancy crap on it. You know, I like it stripped bare bones.
I do as well.
Yeah.
I do.
I don't know. And I think that one of the worst things, like, I hate are when I go to a show and I'm really trying to pay attention to the artist and I'm watching them and somebody's just talking. It's like, my friend has a shirt that says, is the music interrupting your conversation? And I always want to get one of those because I just think it's one of those things where, you know, respect the artist and listen to the show. It's what you came for.
I've got a few of those. Mom, love you.
Well, she's probably bragging to her friends while you're singing, that's my daughter. My mom would probably do the same.
Yeah.
So you did the R&B and you did a bunch of recording and studio work when you were doing that?
A lot of that, actually. It was a lot of fun. However, I learned a lot about myself when I was in the mic booth. It gets super hot in there. And then you get frustrated because you'll hear something back and you're like, oh my God, that sounded terrible. And you're thinking that it sounds so pristine. So the voice coach that I worked with, he was he was a character. He was a Buddhist. And he would have me hold weights and hold in my diaphragm and just do all these different exercises that made me feel completely uncomfortable when I'm trying to hit certain notes. But to this day, it's been something that's really helped me develop being comfortable with where I'm at.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. All of these little quirky things that I could not stand doing back then, now I'm like, oh, I can completely appreciate that now.
Right.
Yeah.
I for me, I hate singing when I'm uncomfortable. Hate singing when I'm cold. Hate singing, like, I want my stage completely clear. I don't want any cables running across it, and I will do everything I can to make sure that that doesn't happen. Because I don't want to stand on anything. I just want to stand on a flat surface. And so when you are made to be uncomfortable, it makes when you're not uncomfortable that much better. Like, now I can, you know, do my work, do my job properly. But sometimes you can't help it.
No.
You know, sometimes
you just gotta go with it.
that uncomfortableness is there regardless. Some people are just slobs on stage, I don't know. But I can definitely see that. And doing that, making you do those things, it actually sounds logical.
It is. But
You know?
back then when you're, you know,
When you know
in
everything.
this tiny little mic booth and you can't make any noises other than, like, even when you're breathing, you have to pay attention to all your breath work. So
Right.
you can hear yourself breathing heavily. It really helped me develop a lot of my sound. So just being able to pay attention to where I'm at in a song, pitch-wise, my range, the tone, everything. It's definitely been a long time of me kind of honing in my actual sound, which now I can comfortably say that I figured it out, or at least I think I have for now.
Right.
To where I'm not emulating someone else, I'm sounding like me.
Right.
So that's been something that's taken a long time. But
And I think that's good when it's something that's what you're striving for. You know, you're striving to find your own voice and all that. And it's not easy when you're singing cover songs.
true.
You know, when you're singing cover songs, it's like you want to stay in range and you want to stay in pitch and you want to stay in key and you want to do all the things that you need to do to make the song sound the way it is. But you also want to have your own tonality and your own delivery, which I do like when I hear other singers change a delivery. There's a couple songs that I do Rebel Yell, and then I do a Creedence Born on the Bayou, where I changed the delivery in a couple parts, and when I hear back at it, I go, you know what? It's actually pretty cool, and it's definitely different than the original. You know, I'm still trying to keep it tonality wise and everything else, but just the delivery is a little different, and I kind of like that.
I've done that with quite a few covers, I think, especially like Aretha Franklin and Janis Joplin. I try to mix it up. To me, in my opinion, as long as I am on key, I think everything's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
just as long as you're not pitchy, you'll be all right. And people, you know, most people don't really, when they're hearing it, they're just in love with what's going on. So they're not really listening for the imperfections. You know, only we are. We're our worst critic, right?
Very true.
I know I'm my worst critic. I get off stage and just go, oh, Lord.
Yep.
And my friend, she'll go, you sounded great. And I'm like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah.
So you got to do some South by Southwest showcases?
I did.
Now,
unofficial, but they still count.
For the viewers here, South by Southwest, can you kind of describe what that is? I know what it is, but describe what that is for people.
Yeah, something that I don't know how much longer we'll have it for. South by Southwest is a music festival for about 2 weeks held in Austin, Texas. Mostly up and coming, some mainstream artists as well, but it's where a lot of famous musicians have gotten their break, coming from all over the world, like I said, and given the opportunity to play in some dive bar at 1 o'clock in the afternoon when there's hardly anyone there. And it has been one of the coolest things that I've ever really gotten to do was be a part of that for as long as I was.
Yeah, you did it, what, 2010 to 2012, right?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Did you do it
I think
longer?
my last South by, not personally singing, but just as a whole and being involved with
Right.
South by, was 2010 to 2017. Yeah, 2017 was my last one.
Nice.
And I just went this year to visit friends. Not to be a part of it, just basically kind of to be, you know, on the other side of not working or not singing, actually. But yeah.
Which is kind of cool because you know the ins and outs, yet you're just kind of somebody chilling.
It's changed a lot, but it was kind of like my Christmas was South by Southwest every year.
That's awesome.
It damn near killed me every year because it was like 2 weeks straight of working. And then I would run down and be that person who opened up for, who was one of many who would open up for, you know, a headliner.
Oh, very cool.
And you're just there with a few people. Granted, there's like cameras and photographers everywhere. And it was just more so the experience out of anything was the cool part.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in a band in 92 to 95, and we actually had, I was telling you, we had a chance to go out there and play, and my drummer foiled it, which was a drag because we were really looking forward to that. I don't know if our style would have been what people were looking for, you know, or wanted to see, but we were like, we don't care, we'll go anyway, you know.
That was the cool part about South by, honestly, is you could just walk into a random venue or a bar, which a lot of these places, they would say that they're official venues. They're bars and random clubs, or, they were all over Austin. And you would run into some of the coolest musicians at just like a little hole in the wall.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
We will be right back. We're going to discuss more with Dani here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys have some more questions, feel free to ask them.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today. We can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
What's up, North County? Tuned into the Backstage Pass with the Rebel Bear. Tonight I have Miss Dani Johnson. There she is right there. She is the lead vocalist and front girl for the band Rumor. She also has another band called LOVR. They're also in the studio right now working on some stuff. But you can catch Rumor. When's your next show?
We will be at Cal Coast next Friday, I believe.
Friday at Cal Coast. There you go. And what time is that?
6 to 9.
6 to 9. Cal Coast, one of the most amazing venues around here if you've not been. Are you guys in the big stage or down below? Or
We're down below on the big stage.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
That is a great show to see. I just watched them play, what was it, last week?
Powerhouse.
Last weekend at the
Yeah.
Powerhouse. They were amazing, and to catch them at Cal Coast will be super awesome. It's if you haven't been there, go check out Cal Coast. Go check out Rumor at Cal Coast. It's a really great place. They got good food there, great drinks, and great bands. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
one of our,
I'll
one of our
do my
favorites.
best to
Yeah.
try to. Yeah, mine too.
We love
I remember the
Cal
first
Coast.
time I just played there as a guest.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I didn't really capture like the feel of it while I was watching the band, but once I got on stage and then I looked around, I was like, ooh, damn. And
fun.
then I got to perform, and then right there on stage, I was like, if anybody knows the owner, you know, tell him I want to book my band here. And
Yeah.
like not even 2 weeks later, I was booked. So
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great. So
Rich and Martha are fantastic.
I appreciate them getting me in, and excellent venue, excellent. So now you were doing like assistant manager and general manager work there for South by South?
Yes. So I was managing a nightclub, of which we became one of the official venues for South by Southwest. So we would host showcases for the whole 2 weeks from 10:30, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's a long ass day, huh?
Yes, for 2 whole weeks.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy. And then after that, you took a little hiatus from music for a little bit? Was that
I
right?
did. That's when I found out about Oliver.
And then you and Oliver is your son, born in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And then right around that time, you were working for an Australian winemaker.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like? Pretty cool?
It was actually really cool. For Stonehouse Vineyard, it was outside of Austin, towards the lake. It's about half an hour outside of the city. But that's what I wanted to do that was kind of my pre-plan on moving back to California,
Right.
was to go into the wine industry. So I started working for her up until I moved here to have him. This is where all my family is. So she was very prim and proper. She's a really cool lady.
Right.
So yeah, learned a lot about Australian wines in Texas.
Are they much different than American wines?
I mean, Yes,
Yeah.
especially the winemaking style.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the way they do
100%.
it and the way they process it and all that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was just a lot of basket press.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but that was really fun, and then got to California, had Oliver, and kind of dove into that here as well. So
Now, I see your posts online. What's your like favorite thing to do with Oliver?
my favorite thing.
Yeah.
We love going to the pool, which is right down the road from us. We go to my Aunt Jen's pool. I think we spend more time there than she does, and she lives there. We love going to the beach. We like to go see the elephant seals. He is all into animals, so we'll go to the Atascadero Zoo.
Yeah, I seen a video of you guys at the zoo.
We do a lot of different things.
That's cool.
Yeah,
He's your buddy.
he is my buddy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where we do this thing called music, and you know, in times of our lives, we think that that's do all be all, and then somebody like Oliver comes around, that comes along, and you're like, that's not even, you know, it is important, but it's not that. He is the do all be all, right?
Absolutely.
And it's crazy how you realize that, you know, you realize what's truly important, you know, and music is important. It's what makes us who we are and gives us that happiness. And I'm sure for you, like it is me, my happiness from music comes from the audience. Like people coming up and going, man, I lived out my high school days tonight. You know, listen to all the songs that you played from when I was a kid, and me and my friends, oh, remember when we heard that song, and you know, and that to me is the biggest part about playing music for me, is the joy that it brings other people.
I feel the same. Definitely the reaction is probably one of the biggest things for me. Meeting people in between sets is another. So we'll go and play at places like Ragged Point, which is outstanding. We love that place. And sometimes they're very long sets. They'll be 4 hours.
Right.
But we'll take like our 10, 15-minute break in between, and I get to go kind of like mingle with people and meet new people from whether they're from California or a different part of the United States. So, but yeah, I think that the crowd's reaction is probably one of my favorite parts too.
And that's gotta be a big treat for people to just be tooling down the highway, tooling down the one, and come across this place that's beautiful. It's got some food, it's got a little gift shop and all that. And then lo and behold, there's this kick-ass band with this female singer, and they get to sit and have lunch and watch you guys.
Yeah,
You know, that
it's a cool
is a
spot.
pleasant surprise. You know,
Definitely.
and there's something to be said for that. It's cool that they have music like that. I think personally.
I love it.
I've seen some good bands there, just not even thinking that I was going to go see a band there. I just was, me and my girlfriend going
Stopping
to roll
through.
up the coast and
Yeah.
go check it out. And then like, oh, lo and behold, there's a band here. You know, and you hang out and have a burger or whatever and watch the band. It's great. It's a really good thing. So you didn't form Rumor, you joined it, right? And that was in what, 2023?
Yeah, around then. They were just looking for a new vocalist, and
So they had one prior to that?
they did.
And there's Rumor right there. You can check them out. There they are. They look great. So they had a singer prior to you, and
They did.
that singer just didn't work out, or
I think she moved out of state, something. I'm not exactly sure.
yeah.
But I kind of took over that spot, and gigs just kind of came out of nowhere, and we ran with it.
It's
So
crazy because when I see that band, you know, you're the newest member, right? But when I see that band, the way you dominate it, like the way your prowess is in the band, when I see you on stage or when I see you in pictures, you know, you're the front of the band. And I think it's cool that they have given you carte blanche to, you know, here you go, this is, and you do great.
Thank you.
You know, yeah, you really do well. Now you have Jim Miller on guitar, and then now is he the founder?
I think Doug, who is our saxophone player.
Oh, Doug Shelton.
Doug, and Jim, and then Gary. Gary, it was our drummer, of which Marty replaced Gary.
Right. So you have Jim Miller on guitar, Robert Barr on guitar and keyboards, and then Dan Marino. Dan Marino on
he's our bass
bass.
player.
Right, and then Marty Black on drums, and then Doug Shelton on saxophone, and a little bit of everything. That guy.
I don't
What's
know
up
what
with
he
that
doesn't
guy?
play.
Yeah, he
Doug's very talented.
I watched him the other day, and I was just like, okay, how many instruments is this guy gonna freaking pull out? Like, he was playing the keyboards, he was playing the saxophone, he was playing what was that little thing? What do you call it?
I call it a kiwi. It's an
Kiwi.
iwi.
Iwi. He plays that very well. Like, I was looking for him to make a few like little mistakes on it, but he was like note for note.
Yeah.
Like, he sounded great. Yeah. And he was making some like, he had like fluty sounds and stuff, but he's making like some other sounds with it that I was just like,
yeah.
Is that the keyboard or is that?
Yeah, it's a wind synth. So he's not very limited to what he can do.
No, he's not.
So
And
it's a cool thing about it.
it really broadens the band's sound. Like, I was listening to it almost kind of envious. Like, man, I want to be in a band that has a guy that can do that kind of stuff, because it gives you such an array of ability that you don't just get with two guitars and a bass player. You know, I love keyboards. You know, like you, I love keyboards, but really good keyboard players they're like hard to find.
Yeah.
They're
Doug and Bob kind of go back and forth with playing keys,
Yeah.
depending on what sound and what song we're doing. So yeah, it's kind of cool. We take a lot of these cover songs, completely dissect them, and then kind of put them back together in a way that we can incorporate all of these different instruments. So it's fun. It can be
Cool.
challenging sometimes, but it's fun.
Yeah. Now, your second band, you have an additional band that you also joined in 2024?
I joined them, this last year.
Okay. And that's like an indie funk blues and mostly original right now?
Yeah.
And you're recording with Vince Timo?
Vince Timo.
Timo,
Yeah.
producer. And you guys do have a CD coming out, right? You're working on it?
We are working on our album, of which we started in February. It's kind of taken a back seat since our rehearsal space is now going to be a full-on recording studio, which is really exciting.
Which is worth waiting for.
Yeah. Yes.
You kind of got your in there. It's not always bands, bands are lucky if they can find a great recording studio that they can get in and get time in.
True.
So if you're already in the door already before it's even an official recording studio, then you pretty much got it made. That's pretty sweet. So you have Ryan Corvesi, is that
Corvesi,
it? Ryan Corvesi on guitar. You have Jacob Turdak on lead guitar. Bassist Alex Ramos, right? And are you do have a drummer right now or no?
We had one, which was part of another band. So we are still currently looking for one. However, we might have had that role filled. But, we're always open to suggestions.
Well, there you go, you guys. LOVR, a indie funk, indie blues, mostly original, probably tossing in a few covers there. They're looking for a drummer, quite possibly. So you could probably hit Dani up on any of her social media if you're a drummer out there and you're looking for a new gig that is similar to what they're looking for. There you go. So you heard it here, Backstage Pass with the Rebel Bear. So let's move into to your tea company. You formed that just recently?
This year, the end of January, is when my LLC was official. It's January 27th. So, yeah, it's been crazy. It was initially supposed to be a side hustle.
And there we go, Spice Cult Tea Company there. And where can people find that?
I have an online store, as well as I work with a lot of different local vendors.
Is there a link you can tell us about that?
Just spiceculttea.com.
Spiceculttea.com. There you go. Hey, we're going to take a quick break and come back on our out. So we will be right back. Backstage Pass, Rebel Bear.
My name is Jennifer Borhone-Wescombe.
And I'm Haley Wescombe from Borhone Auto Center. Borhone Auto Center is a family-owned and operated GMC dealership. We are your go-to dealership for quality vehicles. With a vast inventory and personalized service, we are here to make your purchase seamless.
Whether it's a luxurious Yukon or a rugged Sierra, we have the perfect ride for you. Come see us today to experience the Borhone family difference. We are located on the corner of Highway 46 East and Golden Hill Road in Paso Robles.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.
What's up, North County? Backstage Pass with the Rebel Bear. I want to thank my guest, Miss Dani Johnson, tonight. Dani, thank you so much for coming in. She has a lot of stuff going on. When's your next show?
This Saturday we'll be playing, it's just a duo, Bob and I will be playing at Summerwood.
Okay.
From noon to 3.
Okay, and then your next rumor show?
We'll be at Cal Coast, I believe it's next, you'll have to forgive me. Either next Friday or Saturday.
Okay, so Friday,
6 to 9.
Friday or Saturday for that. You can go on their Facebook page, on the Rumor Facebook page. I'm sure they'll have all that information for you. We want to thank all our hosts, all these people right here. We want to thank all our sponsors. Without them, we would not be able to do this. This would not be possible. So we want to thank all of them for doing this for us. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you. We have Gene Baker coming in next on the next Backstage Pass with the Rebel Bear.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Are you tired of looking at that worn-out concrete garage floor, patio, or porch? Look no further than MGP Coatings, where customer service reigns supreme. Our team goes above and beyond to ensure your satisfaction every step. Before we even start coating, we meticulously repair your concrete, ensuring a flawless finish that lasts. And here's the best part. Our Pentec coatings are 4 times stronger than epoxy, so they won't chip or peel, making maintenance a breeze. Plus, they come with a limited lifetime warranty. Call us today at 805-952-5301 or check out our Facebook and Instagram and experience the MGP coating difference. Don't wait. Transform your garage, patio, porch, or driveway and become a part of the MGP coating family.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Hi, this is Omid
And Deanna.
at North County Junk Removal. We are a business known for helping our neighbors and our community.
Let us help you save money and get rid of any unwanted items.
And rest assured that our professional team adheres to global standards of safety and recycling. We are fully licensed and insured for your peace of mind.
We are locally owned and operated, and we look forward to helping you with all your junk removal needs.
Please call us at 805-769-6966.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We are all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.